All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It's our tech discussion this Thursday morning. My guest is Nimma Jo Magudu, who is a data privacy expert. Today we're talking about privacy in the age of emerging technologies. Nimma, it is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for
having me. You have a lovely smile, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, so what is exactly data privacy and data protection? To the layman there, please, in the layest terms that you can, lay it out. Just tell us what it means.
The Constitution, which is Nigeria's Bible, has put in data privacy, which is your right to privacy. You as an individual, it is that your right to own and to protect everything that is related to you. Data protection is now the laws that have been created to ensure the protection of your rights to privacy, in simple terms. And the way it works now is that the regulators, the National Assembly, have put together certain guidelines and laws to ensure that that right has been protected and is being protected for the sake of every individual within Nigeria who is resident here or any Nigerian's data that's been processed, even by a foreign entity as well.
So why should individuals and organizations, why should we take data protection serious? Why should it be important to us?
If you truly understand what data means, so data, according to the law, is really about personal data. So that is your face, your name, your address, your email address, everything that goes down.
Biometrics inclusive?
Biometrics inclusive, your DNA as well. So what it means basically is that every information that is tied to you that can be used to identify you as an individual has to be protected. In this day and age that we're talking about AI, for example, imagine an AI getting access to everything that concerns you and then is now using it to generate new versions of yourself, for example. So data protection really saying that at this point in time, at this critical junction that we are operating in as a nation, as individuals in this current world that we're living in, you need to protect that right because, first of all, corporations typically, you give them an inch, they take a mile. They're going to take advantage of those rights in the first place. But then on the other hand is that how far is that going to go? How if you allow them to keep using your data without restrictions to the use of that data, how wide is that going to do? How is it going to be manipulated?
You know, you remember the case of Zuckerberg and I think it was Cambridge or something, the issue with data.
Exactly, analytics.
Yes, you know, but what can an individual do in that particular scenario? So what can you do?
As an individual, on one hand, is that there are a lot of rights ingrained in the Constitution, but also ingrained in the Nigerian Data Protection Act, saying that you have a right to deletion of your information. You have a right to request any information that you have given to an organization. You have a right to amend the information that they have. And they also have an obligation to respond to that. In the instance that they don't do that, you can report to the regulator, that's the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, to say that this has been violated. And there are extreme sanctions that can be given.
That can be given?
Yes.
How do I get in contact with the regulator?
Okay, first of all their information is publicly available.
Okay.
It says the Nigerian Data Protection Commission is one of the most accessible organizations and government agencies that we have worked with. So the minute you have any issue, reporting to them should not be an issue. You go on their website, easily accessible. Their emails are very accessible. But on the other hand is that's why you have lawyers like myself. You reach out to your lawyer to say, oh, I have this problem, this person has violated my rights. How do I go about addressing, rectifying this? There are so many cases within the last couple of years where the courts have actually granted judgment in favor of people who have claimed that their data rights have been
against the big corporations, as it were. And that is where you come in. I love the way you answer questions. I was just about to ask that, where as a data privacy expert, you are a legal expert also. How do you come into all of this? You know, like you mentioned, where do I need you?
Okay. First of all, you need a lawyer in all aspects, but one of the things that we do is that we stand in the gap. So what I do within my firm is that we also are a data protection compliance organization. So we stand in the gap between the regulator, that is the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, as well as the individuals. What that means is that on one hand, during the review process of drafting the laws, we were contributing to what that policy should look like, to shaping it, so we have a good understanding of what that means. We also went ahead actually last year to prepare a book, I think that is the first data protection textbook in Nigeria. When you need assistance, funny enough is that people don't really know when they need a lawyer. The minute that you have an issue, the minute that you think you might have an issue, reach out to somebody that, I feel a bit funny about this. How do I go about doing that? But on the other hand, is understanding that what are my rights as an individual? how do I go about addressing those rights? How do I go about protecting those rights? And in the instance where those rights have been violated, how do I go about getting remediation, sanctions against the person that has violated my rights?
Wonderful.
And that's where a lawyer comes in.
Nimma, we will continue with this. I promise you. One episode is not enough. We'll keep up with it, and then we'll talk about that book also, how people can access it. But well done. You're doing quite a great stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Elbows.
Thank
Well
you
done.
very much.
All right. Hope you're able to pick up something there. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. It's Wake Up and Shop coming right up next.